Hi, happy Monday, guys. New week. A new week has started. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all getting on with your week. It's just about 11 a.m. here. And I was looking for this lady. I'm so glad I found her. I guess on this page, while we do drag these hoes, and we do, when it's always nice. I always from going forward, I want to do this approach where I try and do what I call the joy of the day. And what that means is let's not just flooding your timeline with negativity. In as much as we are dragging these people, it is still a lot of negativity. But it's always nice to call out when people get it right and when people decide to do the right thing. This young lady, for those of you who may not have heard about it, I'm going to let her tell the story. The Some aspects of the UK tabloids and the YouTube, and funny enough, not even UK tabloids necessarily, the YouTube hate train, because everything Meghan does is over scrutinized and over judged. These idiots, because they wanted to maybe do an own goal for Meghan, scoured the internet far and wide, like the losers that they are, to find anything they could find to diminish her upcoming podcast. The same thing they did with the As Ever brand. Understanding how I've worked with patents, and I know that it's very possible for multiple businesses to have the exact same name, which is why many people tend to trademark. Trademark itself is quite expensive, and more times than not you don't get the response that you want. For example, Beyonce tried to trademark Blue Ivy's name since the day she was born. Blue Ivy is going to be 13 this year. Do you know Beyonce just got that trademark approved? 13 years, and God knows how much money she must have spent to try to trademark her child's name. Not to mention, God knows what how she's going. I don't think she can do it for Rumi and Sa, but I could be wrong. So for those people that are acting like Meghan is the only person in God's earth that is struggling with trademarks, or is the only person that did not do her due diligence, which I don't think is the case, by the way. But then again, I would rather wait for Meghan to tell us herself from her podcast what challenges she went through, what happened with the Arrow name, why she, again, in that video, she did say she changed it because she wanted to expand her market beyond Santa Barbara. But if there's more to the story around trademarks, let her tell us herself why the media keeps on using these things that happen to everyone as some sort of own goal. I'll never understand. From what I understand, Prince William has been struggling to trademark Earthshot in the US, and he's been failing. I don't hear them discussing that. But anyway, let's pack that nonsense. Like I said, this is the joy of the day, so I'm not going to get negative. It's very, 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 very nice to see all the black and brown women, and let me not call them out as well. Let me not exclude them. The white women too, both in the UK and abroad, that are on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, beginning to realize or finally get on the let's look at this logically train. Now, again, I want to say, for those of you who come into my page, and many of you are, and telling me that, oh, you're a Megan stan, you're a Scotty, you can't see things, you're not logical. While I am very much a Megan fan, and hopefully you can tell from my discourse that I am not illogical, because I am not pulling fresh air and pulling things together just to support her. I've always said that there are people who are well within their rights to not like this individual. Just like anybody else, I don't expect you to like everybody. We're human, we're nuanced. For different reasons, people will not be your vibe. And that's okay. And this is not about liking her. This is about creating hate accounts and directly hitting her all the time. Now, for many of you that are saying, why do you care about this? Just to remind all of you again, if you I have a short where I literally just type in Meghan Markle or Meghan. Well, at that time I used the Meghan Markle in the search box. I didn't see a single positive article. I didn't see a single nuanced or even centralist article. Just hate, 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 hate. That was done intentionally. The British media started this hate campaign. it has now grown wings and grown legs because people on YouTube have realized that they can make money off dragging and insulting this woman. Meghan Markle is not a manifestation of whatever misery you have in your life. A lot of people have dehumanized this woman so much that I'm like, how do you just hate someone without... She didn't kill anyone. She didn't talk badly about anyone. She didn't do it. Meghan, compared to some of the people that we hate, hasn't done anything. But yet, the way people react to this woman is like they don't even care about her humanity. I'm not a fan. Let me give you a very good example. I don't like Blake Lively. I was indifferent to her before. I really liked her fashions on the Met Gala. But seeing that she's used her platform to try and destroy somebody's career, I really do not like that woman. And I don't like women like that. But even me, I do not have the time or the interest to create a hate channel to just drag her. And I think a lot of people have moved from actually reporting the ridiculousness of her sexual harassment case. They've moved from there to start to just blatant full-on hate. It's so easy for some of you. I don't know what type of life you are living, that you are using these celebrities who don't know you as a way to vent your hatred, your vitriol, your anger, not thinking about, while this is an outlet for you, it's very possible you are, by the continued influx of hate, not only are you hitting somebody's mental health. If Blake Lively is found in court to have lied, then let her get her justice in court. The internet sleuths have done their job. They've put the facts. They've more or less acted like free paralegals for Brian Friedman. Let everything go to court. Right? From what I can see, this is getting to court. Let the court of law do the judgment, or let her settle. Whatever wants to happen. My point is, because somebody did something wrong does not justify going from criticism to full-blown psychotic hate. That's why I started blocking some of these the places I would normally go to get news and facts on the whole Blake Lively case. Funny enough, if you look at it, many of them are people who attack Meghan because there's no nuance and there's no critical thinking. This is actually what confirmed to me that many of these channels are not interested in reporting the facts or even helping. They are reporting and monetizing hate. So this is for anybody else who is following this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case. I'm not saying don't go to get recaps from certain people, but when you begin to recognize certain patterns of continued studied hate, I think you should ask yourself, compare it to Meghan's situation, and ask yourself if you are on the right track. Let me be clear. There is no similarity between Meghan and Blake by any stretch of the imagination. Blake appears to have falsely accused her colleague of sexual harassment because she wanted to hijack his movie and she wants to save her reputation. Meghan has done no such thing. People say it's similar to the royal family. I keep asking them how. Meghan can actually confidently evidence. First of all, Meghan never accused anybody in the royal family of anything. Her husband told her that people in his family were questioning how dark their child was going to be, and there were discussions about not including her on her child's birth certificate, and there were discussions about about not giving her child security. I don't see anything wrong with calling that out. That was unacceptable. And more importantly, there were also discussions of not giving her child his birthright, his right to he's heir to the throne through his father. Unacceptable. Why? Because he's half black. He's not even half black. If we check Archie's DNA, maybe 15% at this point, if not less. So it's very interesting to me that people have, instead of going to the royal family and asking them real questions, why did you behave like this? Why did you do this? Why did you even make her doubt for a second that you would protect her? Why were you concerned about how dark Archie was going to be? For whatever reason, the British press have managed to convince a lot of stupid people who don't do critical thinking that Meghan is the problem. Why? For calling out the bias in the family. And then on top of that, you don't want her to exist anymore. Do you want her to die? I know many of you will be happy when she dies, because that's why you keep on going after her day in, day out. But you know what? Like I said, this is supposed to be a joyful you know what? I think I may have lost the joy at some point, but it's still here. Bear with me. Like I said, the aim of this is to commend people when they do the right thing. This beautiful young lady has done the right thing, so I'm going to let her speak for herself.
Specifically, when I first realized, I guess someone put two and two together, screenshotted my video, screenshotted Meghan's title, took it to Twitter, and brought up the fact like, hey, Meghan did this and this is wrong, which I understand most people's intention. Like, I completely understand defending someone's original work. I still do that. When I see small brands on TikTok with their work getting stolen, I don't play about that. I will be in the comments. I will be calling you out. And because I know how it feels, but this specifically, I think that when I first noticed everything and my YouTube channel started getting flooded, it was a little funny at first. I was like, oh, like I so get where they're coming from. But what shook me, or like what sort of made me like want to say something, was when I opened Twitter. When I opened Twitter and I saw some of the things that were being said, it got a little scary. It got a little concerning. Some of the first pages that reached out to me asking me to comment it wasn't a news page. It was a guy that had like over 100K followers, and I went to his page and there were multiple videos about Meghan with like dramatic music, terrible things being said. And yes, I do not know much about the royal family, but I do not want any parts in this sort of drama, you know? And I think that most people probably wanted me to see this situation and be like, I'm a victim, Meghan stole from me. But I'm just being honest, guys. As a creator, series titles are very common, and it's very common for people to use them. Okay, so there's two sides to this. One, I think it's rare that Meghan saw my channel and got inspired. And in the rare chance that she did, because I do believe that you never know who's watching, because that is true as well. You never know who's watching, and I would have never expected Puma to steal my product, but then again, my videos on my business page were going viral every single day, so obviously they're going to see a market, they're going to jump on it. But one, it's rare that she saw my channel, and if she did, and she still thought it was a great podcast title, series titles are not really something that can be stolen or something that you can sue over. People are like, you need to sue her, you need to sue her. Guys, I couldn't even sue Puma. Hello. Because guess what? Patents are something you also have to protect. And people, big corporations, know that they can outfund you. And I also would rather not spend my energy going after them when I could spend my energy trying to build my brand, trying to build the life that I want for myself and for my family. I think that there was a lot of people on YouTube that genuinely were like, look at this poor girl, she only got this amount of views, let me go subscribe to her, let me go watch her video. And I think that was really kind, and I'm sure that's what everyone wants when something gets stolen from them. But things that I saw on Twitter, it did not feel right to see my name in the same sentence as people saying the craziest things to another human. Like, it's a little scary, guys, you know, and I'm like, I know that she's in the news almost every day, because when the Netflix series came out, there were so many videos. But like I said, I don't pay attention that much. I just know that I'm not really excited to have my name, or to have any traction on my YouTube channel to be built off the slandering. I'm not sure what the right word is. I don't want traction or on my channel to be built off the hate of someone else. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. And yes, my video only had like 200 something views. Yes, my YouTube community is a small, quaint, quiet community of loyal subscribers. Like, I've never even tried to promote my YouTube on my business accounts, which clearly are much more massive than my personal accounts, because I don't want to force people that support that to support this. Like, I want people to genuinely want to be here and watch just my basic videos of me cooking, yapping, and whatnot. So, yeah, and then most recently, after I said what I said, which I'm not gonna lie, those media outlets are very dramatic. Like, reading those titles, Katie may take slams, whatever they said, like, relax. It's a bit much. Now people are like, oh, she's clearly a swatty. What does that mean? She clearly wants to be Meghan's friend. I haven't even finished Suits. I watched like the first season and I don't even know what's going on. I just know that the reality is either she did or she didn't see my channel. Series titles are not something that you steal. And I gave an example, which I'm sure like no news person actually posted it, but I said I mentioned Michelle Choi because she's like a perfect example of this. She created the Living Alone Diaries series here on YouTube, and her channel blew up off of that. If you Google or search Living Alone Diaries, you will find hundreds of channels using that title, including mine, because it just describes perfectly what you're doing. Because I'm someone who lives alone and documents her life. So these are my Living Alone Diaries, and I've also gone to make it Ramadan Diaries, and many other people use that title. Michelle Choi is not going around suing anyone, and I would probably look a little crazy if I did try to do that. If I did try to make it so from me, I would look delusional, guys. Okay, so I'm really thankful to the people that genuinely were like, oh, like this is wrong. Let's go support her because it happens. And I know it's something we've seen so many times, so we want to avoid it as much as possible. But Twitter was a scary site, and I don't know, it doesn't feel right to have my name affiliated with people dragging someone, okay? Okay, but yeah, that's literally all the thoughts that I have on this. I'm sure it'll die down, as all things do. I hope our podcast goes well. I'm going to continue my series. I came up with it like a while ago, when I first launched it, of course, but I had known for a while that I wanted to chat about my business journey and all this other stuff, and it took me a while to come up with a name, and it just fit so perfectly. And who knows, the same could have happened for Miss Meghan. But yeah, that is enough, because like, what else can I really add to this? There's nothing else for me to say, just that none of this feels real, and it's like kind of hilarious, because this was not in my 2025 bingo card. I'm probably going to put this in my journal for life in my early 20s, because yeah, life is very, very random. But yeah, that's all I have to say. As for the day, what's happening today, it's Friday.
Right, so I guess while I get where she's coming from, and I understand on these creator streets, as a creator myself, it's hard. The only thing I will probably add in there is just to give it more nuance. The point she made about titles, she's right. Confessions of a Female Co-Founder. That is, let's keep it 500%. That is a name anybody could have thought up. That's something she thought up. Just because she thought of it first doesn't mean Meghan stole from her. It's stupid. The name of my page is literally N for this, N for that. That's a very basic name. I just took my name and took the first letter. My name is quite popular. I'm Nigerian. I'm very, 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 very sure somebody would do N for something. N for Nkechi, N for Unsuka, N for this, N for that. Will I now say, oh, well, they stole from me? Or somebody who might even have my own name might do the same name, N for this. It's silly. Especially, there are billions of people who have, I'm very sure there are hundreds of millions of people all over the world that have channels on YouTube. The likelihood of us repeating each other's name without having met each other is 100%. The human beings, we move around the same circles. We move around the same content. We watch the same films. Confessions of a teenage drama queen. Things like that. Confessions of a dancer. Confessions of a singer. Confessions, that type of structure of word is something that is very, very, very popular. Anybody can use it in any way. I can simply say Confessions of a Nigerian content creator. I'm very sure if I use that name, or if I create a playlist like that, I will probably come across thousands or hundreds or tens of people who have used the exact same name. Meghan's As Ever, there was a clown in NYC because he wanted attention who said he was going to sell Meghan for the name. And I was like, go ahead. Notice how he suddenly went quiet. Maybe when he realized, do you know the hell you're going to have to go through to even get any? Because people will be asking you if you were that sensitive. First of all, As Ever is a very popular name. So if you were that sensitive to it and you really wanted to patent it, why didn't you start the process? I'm very sure he wouldn't have been able to patent that expression, to be fair, as ever. Come on now. As ever, really? Again, so and did you peep what she said about somebody with hundreds of thousands of views? I think it was, I don't like saying Voldemort's name. I think it was Dan Wooten. Wouldn't surprise me if it's that prick. So again, or any of these clowns on social media, and I think if you ignore a lot of the stuff that she said, the thing that really touched me was when she said, I'm seeing the things you're saying about this woman, and I'm like, whoa, 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 this is crazy. Even this is mad. I don't want any types, and I love that energy, and this is the energy most of us should be doing. The media, people on YouTube want to flog this woman. I was telling you guys that one thing I will never be able to get over is how do people feel comfortable creating pages. You're a content creator, and the sole purpose of your existence is just to hate on someone. That's bad juju. That's bad karma, because you don't know who's praying for Meghan. You don't know who's wishing her well. People are very, very emotionally, mentally, and spiritually touched by what's happening to Meghan. People all over the world, not just African. As a Nigerian, I'm touched. As there are black women that are touched because her trauma resonates with a lot of us. There are Asian women that are touched. There are white women that are touched. There are and there are people that pray for her. I'm sure there are people that pray for her. If you guys remember when they went to Colombia and they went to the Black District, a woman what I believe is, what they call them, one of their she looks like a religious leader in her society, was praying for her. Do you really want to bring yourself up against those types of fortitudes and prayers? I'm not a religious person, but I am Nigerian, so I also carry the superstitions that we carry, and I really believe that if you go on a senseless attack against someone that hasn't done anything to you, you really need to be careful. You really need to be careful, because you don't know what type of energy you are attracting back for yourself. And this is what I tell the people on YouTube that are using their platforms to attack this woman. You need to be careful what you're saying about this woman, about her family. You need to be careful, because even if your 30 pieces of silver that you're earning online, I was saying that all that money will turn to ash. You can't have somebody who's sitting down minding her own business, and you are attacking her day in and day out, and you don't think to yourself you are bringing some sort of negative juju and karma towards yourself. So for those of you that believe in spirituality and people being protected, I would strongly start asking yourself whether you want to keep going down this journey, because notice how Meghan is not losing. Meghan keeps on, no matter what you throw at her, she keeps on winning. She keeps on winning. So at some point, you're going to have to realize that the hate campaign is not working. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is. I can't stop people from doing what they want to do. I can only do my own part and try and bring the truth, slap people digitally when they talk nonsense, and continue to grow our community so that we people who are her fans, and people, even if you're not a fan, this space is not just for the Sussex squad. If you feel as touched as I am, and you want a sense of justice, you want to help clean up the algorithm so that when we search Meghan's name, for once we get neutral. Even I'm not even asking for positive at this point, just neutral. Just tell me the news. Don't bullshit. Don't twist. Don't be nasty. And like I said, whoever gets to study the online campaign against this poor woman is going to be a fascinating read. And for all the creators that continue to use her name for content, and you're lying on her, spreading negativity, putting her life in danger, I wish everything you wish for her back on you. I wish everything you wish on her a million times over. I look at my comments, I see the prayers people are making for Meghan and her family. You need to be careful. You are up against people who genuinely feel for this woman. Everything you wish for her will come back to you a millionfold. All that money that you're making on your channel will dry in your hands, because because to me it's blood money. I can see why she wants no parts of it. Normal people don't want parts of that evil. So guys, hopefully this has been motivational, in the sense that there are people out there, creators out there, who have chosen to be decent people, who have chosen to sit on the right side and do the right thing for whatever their reason. And I just wanted to kind of encourage others as well. If you stumble on my channel and you're thinking of joining the Meghan hates, I want you to be like this young lady. I'll put her name in the description. Please feel free to join her, subscribe to her channel, and say your thanks. No, I mean, just appreciate her. Such a young woman with a decent heart. I think that when you see someone that young with a sense of nuance, and you see grown women in their 30s, 40s, 50s with their busted faces and their big backs, failed actresses, failed broadcasters who can only beg for SEO online, Babasha Megan, when you see that difference in maturity, like Vanessa Feltz, who's 70, and you see this lady is in her early 20s, but this woman has chosen to do the right thing. It just goes to show that age is not a determinant for decency. If you're just a nasty person, you're a nasty person. And yeah, sorry for that. Sorry for my continuous rambling. I wish you guys a really good week. Have a good day. I might put on that video. Let's see what the world takes me. And yeah, take care. Bye.